Secunda. One of Nirn's moons forever living in the shadow of its larger counterpart Masser is one of many features of Nirn's night sky that aids to the ethereal beauty of the landscape as you wander down centuries-old dirt roads or drift away in your tent after a successful day of hunting. While the moons have lots of meanings and beliefs tied to them, even as far as the two of them being all that remains of the missing god Lorcan, they are both very unique in their own way. One thing that brings them together, however, is their names both hold a place on Skyrim's legendary soundtrack by the award-winning composer Jeremy Soule. In fact, you're listening to Secunda right now. Did you know that's what this song was called? If you're like me, you might have spent many years playing this game, unknowingly becoming familiar with its soundtrack and at times finding yourself just caught up in the moment. Today I thought it would be fun to just break down what I think are the 5 different vibes that the soundtrack perfectly captured and tell some of my own stories of what memories I have tied to the different feelings Skyrim has given me over the years. Anyone who's familiar with Skyrim's story knows good and well that the role you play is the pinnacle of glorifying the player. You are born of ancient blood that gives you ancient powers which can take an average mortal a lifetime to master, and those who have mastered these skills have proclaimed you as the chosen one who will save all mortal life from the brink of annihilation. You as the player hold the fate of Nirn in your hands and nobody stands a chance to oppose you. And that reality is reflected very well in Skyrim's more fast-paced battle music. Songs like Steel on Steel, Caught Off Guard, and the Skyrim theme song Dragonborn, which ended up winning Best Original Vocal Song at the Gang Awards, are the reason why the battles you face make you feel like you've just gone from fighting a dragon to fighting Braith.
Leave me alone!
I remember Dragonborn playing during the first fight with the dragon at the Western Watchtower, followed by me eating its fucking soul. I am God himself. But let's face it, we've all died hundreds of times in our playthroughs, or at least taken a stroll through a dozen or more Nordic burial tombs. And without their own ambient sounds, what lurks in those ancient halls would be a lot less effective at immersing you in a fear of being somewhere you probably shouldn't. So let's talk about the moments that made us a little more uncomfortable. As you wander into ancient Nordic burial tombs, caves that hold ancient secrets, or just regular places where horrible things have happened, you might quickly notice that the vibe turns sinister. As you scan the scene, you can't help but be put on edge. The music swells, and not too long into your exploring, you feel like an intruder. Whether or not you're meant to be there, or if anyone is left to defend the secrets you will soon uncover, you don't belong there. And songs like Beneath the Ice, Death in Darkness, and Silence Unbroken all have this low droning bass tone that almost makes these songs feel alive. Or even that you're actively being watched by something. Noticing your actions as you steal from urns of long dead warriors and finish off the remains of Nords who were too strong to give up the fight upon their first death. The feeling is full of suspense, and because of that, one of my earliest memories of the game is being genuinely scared as fuck walking around Bleak Falls Barrow, and with that music following me, leading me all the way to the reveal of who might as well be the fucking Undertaker. I was shitting bricks. Did you know there's a running theory that due to the fact that the only drinks you can find are alcohol, all the craziness in Skyrim, from dragons to magic to lizard people, are all hallucinations of people who are always drunk all the time? Whether you agree with that theory or not, it complements the hard truth that Skyrim would not be the same without its iconic taverns and inns. And just like how Skyrim would be so much emptier without them, these and any other places where you can kick back and just have a good time would feel so much more dull if not accompanied by the more whimsical side of Skyrim's soundtrack. Songs like Around the Fire, Out of the Cold, and The Bannered Mare, which while writing this script I realized are a few of the only songs that actually feature a lute in them, which reinforces my belief that these ones were made specifically for taverns and inns. In my early years of playing Skyrim, these songs meant safety to me. They meant that every face that I was gonna see may be a little robotic and lacking any visible emotion.
Hi, how are you?
But they didn't want to kill or eat me, so I'll take it. For a while actually on PS3, after after I'd pretty much beaten everything I wanted to, I'd sometimes roleplay living out of the Western Watchtower in Whiterun, hunt deer in the daytime, and then go back to the Bannered Mare at night and sell everything I'd collected. And I gotta say that after all the times I've heard the Bannered Mare's own theme song, it just never gets old. And the building itself genuinely looks like how the song makes me feel. It's warm, it's friendly and inviting. There's no need to brace yourself for danger or fear because it ain't gonna get you in the safe space of the tavern. These are the moments where you can take a breath and just enjoy the vibes. And I think it was critical that Skyrim nailed that vibe for these times in between adventure, and it was just executed perfectly. As someone who carries the literal weight of the world on their shoulders, Skyrim's protagonist spends a lot of time going from point A to B to C to on and on and on. And that's where some of Skyrim's most recognizable songs come into play. What you're listening to right now is called Far Horizons, in case you didn't know. I actually love this song so much that I've been trying to learn it on piano for a long time now, just for fun. And other songs like Under an Ancient Sun, the Yarrow Mountains, and the City Gates have all somehow managed to capture a huge symphonic sound that makes your ears feel like they're just standing on top of a mountaintop, gazing upon the forest below as the sun sets. Look, I'm not any form of art critic, but I really like music, and the way I'm talking about these things makes sense to me. In Skyrim's landscape, you could grab a still frame just about anywhere, and it would be worthy of being your desktop wallpaper as is. An adventurous soundtrack that accompanies that natural beauty and makes the journey feel so epic and rewarding is the cherry on top that all of that traveling needed. We have officially reached what is probably everyone's favorite part of the Skyrim soundtrack, the in-between music. What I mean by that is the music that you hear in between the moments where you've got to be cautious of your surroundings. And I'd bet that for a lot of us here, myself included, the first time I ever noticed the feeling I got from the in-game music was while I was outside at night looking at the night sky. For me, that song was Ancient Stones, which is the one you're hearing right now, and I was standing in front of Bree's home just kind of looking around late at night. And finally, for once in my gaming life, I stopped rushing and just took in the beauty of the world. And maybe you had a moment like this too. Whether it was during an aurora or just viewing Aetherius's light shining through the pinholes poked into the mortal plane, Nirn's beauty really flourishes at nighttime. And it's partially in thanks to genuine masterpieces like the streets of Whiterun, From Past to Present, and standing stones that give the night sky what feels like an ethereal beauty to them. It's like something you'd hear as you watch the world crumble to dust. Like there's a sense of awe-inspired sadness to each song with its angelic choirs and swelling orchestra. In my opinion, it simply doesn't get better than this part of the game. It's what helps it stand the test of time. Sure, people play the game for what it is, they like the combat or the role-playing aspect of it, but the memories are what keep us coming back after all these years. And a huge part of what formed those memories that for some of us stand above any other game we've ever played is what I and many other people believe to be the greatest soundtrack in video game history. Thank you so much to all of you for watching, and give me a...
You can't touch music, but music can touch you.
in the comments if you made it this far. And thank you so much to all the members who have decided my show is worth their generosity. You guys are genuinely supporting a starving artist who just wants to be a red guy for a living, and I couldn't be more grateful. Watch the skies, tell someone you love them, and I hope to see all of you again very soon.